we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
To fight, to die on, and this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, oh, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done, but what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, oh.
And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Yo. Okay, there we go. Anyway, so hopefully that fixed that problem. Sorry about that, guys. So, anyways, I guess might as well repeat literally everything I just said. Especially after a crappy auto draft. So, anyways, like I said, guys, it's been, more of a push on trying to get things figured out on getting me back to Iowa for a few months, as much so as I'm not looking forward to making that trip, nor the time that I'm going to have to spend back there. We're still going to do what we got to do. So I am still trying to raise the last bit of the funds that I'm going to need to be able to make the trip. And I am going to have to, I'm out of here in 12 days, plain and simple. After that, I'll be down for, it'll be a couple days drive to get back to Iowa, and then, at least a couple days to get everything set back up again. I can't really hear, but I really wanted to say hi. Is it not loud enough? Like I fixed the problem. And I can turn up the mic a little bit if it's showing as a problem. Let me know if that's better, Annie. It's good for me? Okay. I know it wasn't responding when I first went live, so alright, we fixed that. Because, yeah, we haven't had enough problems. Let's see. No, it's not you. Okay, not a problem. But I appreciate you stopping in, man. So yeah, like I said, I got 12 days until we're leaving. My volume's turned way off, trying to respect others. Okay. I understand how that is, man. But yeah, I got 12 days until I take off. It'll probably be about 10 days that if I'm going to get any time live in will be the amount of time that I've got. So pretty much after the 13th, I'll either be 100% focused on packing or traveling after that point. So I will try and get in as many streams as I can between now and then. I don't know what that's going to look like. I would love to promise one every night, because it's honestly what I would rather be doing. But it kind of depends on how each day goes and how much time gets spent on other things. Especially until I get the last bit of funds secured to make sure that I can afford the trip. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. We've already done this trip in reverse when we came out here. And there'll be at least one more time, one way or another, that I'm coming back, because I'm not. Well, first off, there is still the meetup in May that I would like to be here for. I'm not 100% sure how I can make that work, but I do have a couple things in the works for when I get back to Iowa to make a decent amount of money again. Basically, some opportunities opened up just as everything's falling apart. I'm going to be able to get some business ventures off the ground. Problem is I need someplace stable to live while I work on them. And, well, I'm losing where I have stable here, so I guess I gotta go there until I can make enough money to get back here. So, is what it is. God, is anybody else getting a ton of ads? Like, because I didn't set it the way I normally set it, and it seems like it is just dropping ads left and right now. Which was not my intention at all. But yeah, so like I said, I figured we do just a couple hours of Battlegrounds tonight, hang out. You know, anyone wants to help with anything, I'm more than appreciative. If not, just you guys being around and hanging out while I'm trying to figure things out still is a huge help. Um, I do have to overwhelmingly thank my officers in my alliance because they are going to have to cover some things over the next couple weeks for, well, not really the next couple weeks, but in a couple weeks for me. But I do got a good group of guys at this point, and I think I've got almost everything pretty well set up so that 90% of what needs to be done will be already pretty much set up and ready to go before I do. The nice thing will be that I won't be completely unreachable. I just won't be able to do nearly as much in the way that I normally do because I won't have access to all my devices. Yay! At least for a couple days. Let's see if that was good enough for a win. I don't think it is. But he didn't do phenomenal in the first round, so maybe. Yay! I'll take a win. See if I can actually get into like GC tonight. That'd be amazing. So yeah. So I do want to point out something from the other night's live stream. The other night I was talking about Ascensions, and I did miss something during the Kabam live stream that is definitely been a major talking point in the community, and I have went back and looked over quite a few things. I still have some opinions that are still similar. I also see some opportunities of things, even in some of the things that I know a lot of people are upset about. But one of the things that I was talking about on the other day was one person had brought up the idea that, or the fact that any of the new release champions that come out, if you do not get them from the Valiant crystals as it stands right now, you would not get them. You would not get them ascendable until sometime in 2027. And I had missed that particular part of things and was not 100% clear on that. I do believe that Kabam has already seen a lot of the backlash, and I think that there will be some revise to that at some point, well before we get to that point. But I also have seen that there is a lot of different means by which that they are already starting to show to get the different requirements for ascending champions. So I do think that we'll see some more like one-off type things, you know, like the Star-Lord beating Quake in Abyss, that type of thing. We'll see some different types of crystals. And I do see some one-off type things here and there. Ended up being a thing. I know a lot of people are upset that the base pool will never change for the first crystal. Those original 30 are going to stay the same no matter what. But I do, especially with 11 levels of Ascension, I do think that's actually a good thing that people aren't fully taking into consideration. I think that is one of those things that you could very well see that panning out in the long run as a better, easier way to target those champions long term for the higher Ascension levels. Yeah, I agree. That I think it's good for future hunting. I think some of this stuff is going to prove to be good long term, and I think some of it is just they're gonna have to do some massive changes. A year before I see Ascended Blue, Marvel, Madeline Pryor, or anyone else new. Yeah. Now, I do see a difference there as well too, because in my opinion, okay, so when they showed the metrics on things, an Ascension 2 and a Rank 5 are basically the same. So that means if you focus your Rank 5s on the new champions and your Ascensions on the Ascendable champions, you know, not the necessarily the new ones, but you could end up being where you end up with more variety and diversity in your roster because of the limitations, which could in the long run pan out well. I know that is kind of an optimistic viewpoint to it, and I know a lot of people are probably not going to look at it from that perspective because they're going to go, yeah, but I want to rank 5 and ascend the same champion. And I get that, and I do understand that desire. But I do think that, like, if you're focusing ascensions here and rank ups here, then you can do two different things at once. Yeah, I just want my rank to rank 5 my ascensions, but I understand what you're saying, and I've talked about roster depth as well. Yeah. So I mean, I see a little bit of give and take with it on that. Is it perfect? No. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you want me to shout out your names, anybody who does send anything over, like, I'm more than willing to do so. I know some people are asking me to keep certain things private, so just let me know one way or the other, but thank you either way for anybody that does help in any way, shape, or form. You guys do not know how much it means, and I will never fully be able to express that. I did screw up there because I was not paying attention. But I also believe new champions were designed with Ascension and ISO Burst in mind. They test mid right now because they're supposed to be hitting with added effects. I could see that too. Yeah, no, I know it's Jinx, man. I figured it was you, Luca. And I do appreciate it. And thank you very much. Both for stopping in and for being part of the Alliance now. And as well as any other support. Any and all other support. So, like I said, I will shout out anybody who asked to be shouted out on everything, but I'm not gonna make it public on anybody that helps with this particular venture. So, unless asked otherwise, only because I've had a couple mixed things. I have some people that are offering to help. They've just asked to have it kept private, and some other people that are like just helping, period, and they're okay. Either way, anything helps right now, and I appreciate it, guys, no matter what. Even if, like I said, even if that's just stopping in and hanging out and being part of the channel and everything, liking, subscribing, it will help in the long run. The channel is still very much so my focus. It's still something I'm getting to. I still want to be at Summoners Fest this year. I've got a lot going, and I just gotta get to where I have someplace to live, so that I can get it all built back up again. So I thank everybody. Dark Nick, welcome in, and thank you for stopping in. By the way, you just gave me a reminder. Let's go ahead and do this because we have not done it yet this month. Let's go ahead and just send out some gifted memberships. Let's see if we can't catch a couple people in chat. Well, we got Minnow, we got Angus, we got Real Yummy Bee, we got A-Team Player, and we got Mask Legend, all long-term supporters of the channel. So, and just because it's going to be one of those months that I don't know how much we're going to get to, we're just going to go ahead and send all 10 of them out early this month. So, see, Lord Smash Gaming got one. Lord Parker Collects, Joe Raps, Acme, and who was the other one? And Zolo. And Dark Nick became a subscriber as well. Thank you very much as well. What's your favorite Lantern Oath Wolf? I think the classic one, the Darkest Day, Brightest Night, green, the traditional Green Lantern one. Pretty much, I do think there's a couple really nice, really cool ones out there. I think the Red Lanterns is a good one. The other one's kind of cheesy, if I remember. But I think I'd have to go with the classic.
Darthnick 1008 became a member. Darthnick 1008 celebrates 6 months of membership. What's your favorite lantern oath wolf?
Almost missed her. Gifted subs. I missed someone going crazy. No, I gifted them out, Anion. I get, once you get to membership levels, you can gift out 10 a month for free. And I try and make sure I do them at twice a month, like 5 at one point and 5 at another time. Because I know the latter half of the month, it's gonna be hard enough to get on in the beginning of the month here, let alone the latter half of the month. So I figure I went ahead and sent them out now. That way we could get everybody. And then Dark Nick did his 6-month annual celebration, because he has been a member of the channel for 6 months now. I think mostly through gifted memberships, but still love the support. Been a long time supporter of the channel. So he did go ahead and use his membership promotion to get a question answered. So, one of those cool tricks I'll teach you when you get a little bit more, or once you get a little bit closer to your 500 subs, which I see you're doing wonderful at getting towards. By the way, anybody who has not seen yet, if you'd like, please go over and check out Anian's channel. He has recently started streaming. Come on. Let's try and get that, take up a little less of the screen. Yeah, I'm a ways away from that. It'll be sometime. You'll be surprised, man. I mean that wholeheartedly. You like, honestly, first off, I know you're over your 100 already, which is amazing because it's only been what, about a month. So that's like, I mean, even if you were to go at that pace, you're talking less than 6 months. Like, that's 5 months, 100 a month, no problem. But I will promise you this much, and we talked about this early on when I was helping you get things set up, about the fact that a lot of that becomes exponential. Like, yeah, it's 100 a month, or 100 in a month, and then all of a sudden you get a month where you get 150 or 200, and now all of a sudden you're looking at 2 or 3 months until you're at your 500 instead of 4. And so it could very well, like 3 months from now, like, you could have over 500. I know, like, a lot of the community starting to see you more again and stuff. There's a lot of people I particularly talk to. 111 today. 1 month stream anniversary on Ascension Day Thursday. So I'll do a stream. That's awesome, man. Hayak, how's it go? Hake, how's it going? It's nice to see you, man. Thanks for the belief. It's going well. No, man, it is. You're doing great. 111 in under a month. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, even if you stay at that pace right there, you're talking 5 months, and you're to the first monetization level on YouTube. That's talking 10 months total until you're fully monetized, even at that rate. Actually, at that rate, you could do it in 9 months. The average channel takes about 3 years. So, you are doing wonderful, and you should have plenty of confidence in yourself. Because it's going good, man. It really is. Like, I told you, you had the ability to do this. Oh, that's crazy. Didn't know that. Thanks. We will be right back in a few. Got a dash. Believed you. I told you, man. I know how to do things, and I know it doesn't always seem like it, and I know I'm not the biggest success in the world, but I'm great at teaching people how to be better. And what is possible. And occasionally you just need somebody that's willing to believe in you enough to... And that is one thing I will say, it's something that's extremely powerful, having a couple people behind you that will support you while you get things going, and while that believe in you and stuff. Like, it goes a long ways. It really does. So, But yeah. So I promise the Cash App thing is going to leave as soon as I leave Washington. I'm only going to leave it up for the stream just so that I'm still here in Washington while I'm trying to get the money together to get back to Iowa. But after that, it's going to go away. We're going to go back to the old style of things. I hate to ask right now. I do more than ever. But the trip is not going to be cheap, but it's the only option I got. And staying here would be a lot more expensive. So Max Gaming, how's it going, Max? Sorry I haven't been able to stop into your streams much lately. Things have been a little chaotic. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to be leaving Washington for a few months. Things have fallen through here, and I can't afford to stay here for now. And the only place that somebody can put me up for the moment is back in Iowa. So I'm having to head back there for at least a few months. So things have been pretty chaotic while all of that was coming together and everything and being determined. So that's why I've been a little absentee from the community as of late. But I'm working on getting things stabilized and back together and everything. I just got to get across country again. The joys of life, as we never, and the thing about it is it doesn't matter what plans we ever have. Everything can change in a moment. So, but, yeah, we're working on it. We're working on, making things better. I've got some opportunities back in Iowa when I get there, to start making some money again and get things set up going forward. Appreciate it, man. I really do. Good, man. Just doing a little testing. We need to always take care of each other. Yeah. Yeah. It's been an adventure, and I have loved every moment in Washington and everything like that. And I do plan on returning. And I do plan on being at Summer's Fest again this year if they do it again this year. I would like to be back in time for the meetup in May, even if it's just to come out for a visit and then move back out here again in a little while. But I hate to travel all the way across country just to turn around and come back. But it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna take me a good 6 months in Iowa to put together the money to be able to afford to be here for a couple years again. So sometimes just gotta do what I gotta do. I don't even know what to ban here because most of your stuff sucks. So, but yeah, we will be leaving. I will be leaving Washington. The 15th of May or March. Sorry. I'll be leaving the 15th of this month, so in 12 days. And then I'll be the only choice I have is to drive. I'm going to have to rent a vehicle to get back across country. So I'll be driving for a couple days then. It'll take me at least a couple days to get back set up. So it may be towards the end of the month before I'm back on live again. But like I said, over the next 10 days or so, I'm going to do my best to be live as much as possible, hang out with you guys as much as possible, and do whatever I can. Partially just because it helps, and it's more fun. And it's what I want to be doing anyways. That reroll didn't go any better, to be honest with you. Ever done that time? Yeah, man, I did it when I moved out here in the first place. I drove from Iowa to Fort Collins, Colorado, and then I drove from Fort Collins to Seattle. So it's an adventure that I've already done once before. I love the drive. I'm just not looking forward to it. I love the drive from the perspective of it. Like, I like to do road trips and I like things like that. And I was extremely excited to get here because I wanted to be here. I'm not looking forward to the drive back, partially because I don't have a choice. If I had a way to stay here in Washington, I would. And then there's also just the simple fact of, like, I'm not doing it because, I'm looking forward to going back there or anything like that. I'm doing it because it's the only place I can go for now. But I am looking at it, like I said, I'm looking at it as an opportunity. I've got a couple things that are lining up really well for my marketing firm, for me to be able to start signing new clients and start making money again. And honestly, even on the low end projections, within 6 months I could afford to live here again. So that's what I'm doing. OS fan, how's it going, man? I was actually just talking a little bit ago about the fact that I was wrong, and that yes, the new champions, as they are released, if you do not pull them from the Valiants, you will not be able to ascend them for over a year. Well, around a year, sometime, I don't know. They didn't give us an exact date. They just said 2027, so who knows? And since since that was started originally by you asking my thoughts on that, and I wasn't able to give my thoughts correctly because I had missed the information. So this is my thoughts on it. First off, I think I do understand the anger in the community, and I do think that it is a missed opportunity by far. I do also think that there is some opportunity within this that some people are not necessarily going to be happy about, but at the same time can still be a good thing for mid-range rosters, which is that if you focus your ascensions on one group of champions and you focus your leveling on your rank 5s on another group of champions, you can end up with more diversity in your roster. Is that ideal? Does that kind of pigeonhole what you're doing? Yes. But at the same time, if you're looking at a larger, more diverse roster, that does open up more opportunity for you to find other ways to do things as well. So I don't think that they handled this well, and I think especially announcing that it's that far off in the future when they know nothing's set in stone like that was a big miss, and it was definitely a rage bait, like, you're going to piss everybody off. But I do see ways that it can still be beneficial, and especially with the fact that they're already showing us that there's going to be more ways to ascend champions than just the crystals. But yes, I do understand that, like, taking away the option to rank 5 and ascend a champion because you're not spending is also a bullshit thing. So that is my full take on it, as far as, like, that is my positive spin and how I'm going to look at it so that I continue to enjoy the game, because I do enjoy the game. And one of the things that I've always said about this game is part of the reason I don't chase the way a lot of people do, and I just get it when I get it, is because it keeps me enjoying the game. But if I worry about whether or not I have the new big shiny every time the new big shiny is a new big shiny, I've watched that burn out too many people on this game too often. The more I've thought about it, the less I'm annoyed. Most of the ascendable champions are mediocre, in my opinion. I'll hoard as much ascension material as possible and wait till champions I like are ascendable. See, like I said, do it when it works for you, not when Kabam says that you need to do it and when the community is all hyped about it. Like, it's always going to come back around. Everything in this game has always came back around. So I understand the outrage, and I understand why people got upset initially, and why some people will stay upset. But again, I love this community. I love this game. I love my channel. I even like some of the Kabam employees, like, on a personal level. Like, some of them are, like, really cool people. So why would I want to tarnish this by getting upset about everything? So I just keep playing, and I keep doing what I enjoy, and if I don't enjoy something, I don't play it until I enjoy it. And that has always kept me very happy in this game. Did I get all that collected already? Yeah. That's what I thought. Let's go open up a 7-star just because why not? We have one. And I haven't opened a 7-star yet today. And I open almost on average about one a day at least. Some days I open a few extras, so it kind of makes up for the days that I don't, but I think I have. No, Hood. Okay. Okay, I didn't have him as a 7-star yet. That is a good pull. I will take that. That's another 7-star added to the roster. Definitely trying to push more to getting the majority of the 7-stars. That puts me to 190. That's a really good place. That helps me out with a few things. I've played since day one. Last weekend was as angry as I've been in 11 plus years. I do understand. I don't downplay any of the feelings that anybody has by any means. I understand that, like, especially this game has gotten more and more gate locked. It has. I will not deny that in any way, shape, or form. You know, I've seen the community get more and more upset about it over time, and rightfully so. You know, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with the emotions or the fact that, nor do I think that this was the right move on Kabam's part by any means. I don't. I know myself. I was even like one of the things that I thought about right off the bat is I would like to rank 5 and ascend. The announcement on the live stream on Friday of that any new champions, if you do not get them through the Valiant crystals, the pre-release Valiant crystals, the ones that are hundreds of units apiece, you will not get them. They will not be. You will not have access to their ascendable material until sometime in 2027. Meaning that any brand new champion that comes out, if they happen to be the best champion in the game, the most you can do is rank 5 them. You cannot ascend them unless you buy their bundles, which are expensive. I understand the anger on that. I do. I also think Kabam was trying to do something that they missed the mark on once again. I know one of the things that Yusafa talked about before all of this went down was wanting long-term value for his spend. And I think they thought, oh, hey, you know, if nobody else can get it for a year, then you have long-term value to your spend. That's not what the man meant by it, by any means. As a matter of fact, I've had conversations with him and also seen plenty of his own words that he's put out on his channel. When he said long-term spend and value for his spend, like an exclusive profile picture does not hurt the rest of the community, but does have long-term value for his spend because he can be like, well, nobody else has this. You know, it's like the Bastion title. You know, it's so few people in the community have it or can even earn it that it is definitely, you know, it's long term, no matter if you spent to get it or if you spent hours of your life to get it. It is long term bragging rights that nobody can ever take away from you. Which is what the man wanted. Currently ascendable champions, I'd rank 5, Pavitr, Gentle, and Zemo. I can see arguments on all of those. I also have several others that I'm seeing that I would definitely rank 5. Rank 5 discussions are going to be interesting for a little while. Bryce Parsons raid. How's it going, Bryce? How are you doing, man? So I do, like I said, I see what they were trying to attempt, and I see how and why they missed the mark on it. Again, not justifying their actions. I've said it for a while, honestly. Like, I even applied. Like, they really need my ass in their marketing department because I understand the game, I understand the community, and I understand marketing. And there's a lot of the deals that they do that they just, like, miss the mark so heavily. That done just a little bit better would have everybody happy as hell. I mean, so, like, Hopefully people come along. Not a problem, Bryce. I appreciate you. How'd your stream go, man? I didn't get a chance to stop in. I did see you were live just as I was going live. I apologize. I've said it a couple times tonight, but I'll apologize again. I'm a little behind on keeping up with everybody else in the community right now because my personal life is taking a hit at the moment. I am going to have to move back to Iowa for about 6 months so I can get my finances back in place so that I can come back to Washington. It went well, got a lot of stuff done, which I'm glad about. Nice. So yeah, I'm trying to get everything put together so that I can get back to Iowa and get back to making some money, get money flowing again, and then get my ass back to Washington where I want to be. So sometimes we have to take a few steps backwards so that we can take a giant leap forward. So we definitely took a few steps backward this year, and hey, don't worry about it. Not being caught up. I'm horrible at it. I've been a bit busy. Yeah, I know a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff right now, and I get that. Like, it is a very interesting time in our history right now, for sure. Oh. 12 days until I have to make a 3-day long drive. God, this is gonna be. This is what I get. I've been thinking for a while lately how much I would really like to make a road trip because it's been a while since I've been able to do any kind of road trip. So, like, the universe is like, here you go. You know, go take a road trip, asshole. How often do you use Gilly 99? It varies, not very often in Battlegrounds, to be honest with you. She's another one that's going to get out of my deck as soon as I get my next rank 3 or rank 4 champion that I can replace her with. Right now I have exactly 40 rank 3 / rank 4 champions. So that's what my deck is. Don't forget to see the world's biggest rubber band. Where is... I'll have to look and see where that's located. I don't know how much sightseeing I'm going to do. I don't know where it is. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know how much sightseeing we're going to do on the way there and on the way back. Can't be hard to find that rubber band. Iowa is so flat. It's funny. Yeah, Iowa is flat. Not quite as flat as Nebraska, but pretty damn close. I'm not going to be taking the same route I took to get out here in the first place because I'm not making the stop I made on the way out here. So it will be a little bit of a different drive than I took the first time. But I'll be able to check off more of the country that I've seen. I did say a few years ago I wanted to cover seeing most of the rest of the country that I haven't. If it, you could probably see it from the other, if it is in Iowa. I don't think it's in Iowa. Every movie that mentions a road trip says they have to see the rubber band. I get it, man. Dude, did I really lose that by 80 points? Ah. There are some, like, as much so as, like, I don't really care for Iowa. There are some really cool things that do exist in Iowa. I won't deny that whatsoever. The birthplace of the future birthplace, more appropriately, of Captain Kirk is a thing there. Triz, how's it going? Let's see. Obviously, Ashton Kutcher's from there. Brandon Routh's from there. Jason Momoa's from there. Evil Rick, how's it going? Not that it's anything to brag about, but of course Slipknot is from there. Unfortunately, I know most of those guys. There's an entire tour that you can actually take that, like, it's like 15 different cities that have castle-like structures in them in Iowa. There are some pretty things there. There are some decent things there. There's some good food there. I won't deny that. There are some people I care about there. But all in all, it's just not someplace I've ever really... As many years as I spent there, I never felt at home there. So, on the other hand, the 2 years that I've been here haven't went well, but I've enjoyed being here, and I love just walking out my door most days here. So it is a little bittersweet to head back to Iowa, to say the least. But like I said, I'm doing it with the full intention of it being temporary. So, one step at a time, one day at a time. We just do what we got to do. We rebuild, and we get things going, and we get back here. And we go to Sumner's Fest again this year because we're just gonna go under the assumption that there's gonna be Sumner's Fest again this year because why not? Only reason there was 2 years between the first one and the second one was because the 10-year anniversary was in between them. So there's no reason that we can't have another one this year. And that was a great time, and I want to be there again. So we're going to go make money, and we're going to get back here. And we're going to be fine. And things are going to be good. We just got to get back to Iowa long enough to get back here. It's not perfect, but it's going to happen. Ain't nothing I've ever done have been perfect. Hell, you guys watch my gameplay? Like, it's far from perfect. Vitalik, how's it going, my man? You'll be back, Luca? No problem, man. I'm gonna dip. Got some stuff I gotta finish before bed. Good seeing you. Have a good rest of the stream and good luck in BG's Wolf. No problem. Have a good night, Bryce. I appreciate you stopping in and reading. You enjoy whatever you have to do this evening, and I will talk to you soon, my brother. Chapel Bishop, how's it going? Nice to see you, man. How have you been? I'm gonna throw it all and see if Shaw is there. Better than some, worse than others. How about yourself? I mean, I've been pretty much talking about it all evening. Unfortunately, things have fallen through here in Washington, and I am going to have to move back to Iowa for a few months while I get finances figured out. So I am leaving the 15th to drive back to Iowa. Hoping I'm working on right now raising enough funding to pay for that trip. I've got about 2/3 of what I need to cover at least a vehicle to rent to get back there, no matter if it ends up being a U-Haul or just renting a van and driving back in that with whatever I can get in it. And then I'm gonna have to go back there for about 6 months so that I can do a work opportunity, and should be able to make enough over that time period to move back to Washington and be able to cover at least a couple years here again, no matter what happens. So a little bittersweet because I really didn't want to leave Washington, but yeah, I'm gonna have to take a step backwards for a few months so that we can propel forward again. So I am grateful for the fact that I even have someplace to go in Iowa, even if it's not necessarily where I want to be. But we do what we got to do to survive and to keep things going until we make it actually successful. I've been fighting for this long. I can fight for a little bit longer. Sorry, starting out is like the worst photon fight I've ever had with Okoye. Yeah, that one's gonna be crap. I'm definitely not winning that one. I appreciate you, man. I'm doing my best. I really am. It's been rough ever since I realized that I didn't have a choice. I found out last week. Well, I've known for a few months that I was supposed to be getting assistance to help with rent and stuff while I was going through mental health treatments and everything, and trying to work on getting things off the ground. Um, Unfortunately, because of the way the federal government is at the moment, yay, um, a lot of those assistance programs have no money. And unfortunately, the investment firm that owns the buildings that I live in is no longer willing to wait for that money to come from the federal government. So, in spite of the fact that I had multiple places saying they were going to help, it was not enough, and the judge did not care. So I got the official word on Monday that I have till the 15th to get out. So I started looking to see what I could do with what little income I have coming in right now, and it's just not feasible to be here until I can raise my finances quite a bit. So the only place that anybody offered to even let me stay was to go back to Iowa, so that's where I'm going. But like I said, outside of the fact that I'm, still about a third of what I need to make the trip shy, things are coming together. I'm working on things. Like I said, I have a place to stay when I get back there. I should be able to get everything set back up so that I can continue with the channel even while I'm there. It may just take me a couple weeks to get everything set up properly. And then I have opportunities to make money in other directions when I get there. I got a couple people that are coming on to the marketing firm on a commission basis to help me with client acquisitions, which gives me that opportunity. Things are coming together. I just, unfortunately, am going to get hit hard before they do. I'm working on a few things. Hopefully it goes through in a few days. If it pops, I'm going to hit you. Not guaranteed, but it's 70. Not a problem, man. I appreciate it. I know a lot of people are in the air right now with a lot of things because of the way things are right now. So anything anybody can do to help, I appreciate. And even just being here, hanging out, and giving me a place to continue to do what I love until I have to pack things up and leave is a huge appreciation, and I thank you for that alone. And that goes for everybody, period. Like, guys, just being here, hanging out, and supporting the channel is always amazing, and it does a lot for me. There have been times that I couldn't even live stream for several months, and I was still getting $100 every couple months from YouTube. Just, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't gonna change my situation by any means, but the fact that the channel has been what it has been over the time that it has been what it has been, I have been overwhelmingly grateful for. We have an amazing community. I love the opportunities that this has presented me. I would never have even gotten to Seattle in the first place if it hadn't been for the channel. Let alone the fact that I left the country for the first time this year because of the channel. Um, it's there has been so many things that I am so utterly grateful for that even in this moment that I do have to take a step back from things, I'm still extremely grateful and still extremely humbled by the opportunities that life has given me, even with some of the hardships that I have had to endure. And I know we may be down right now, but I also know that there will come a time that I will end up flush again and I'll make things better. And I will continue to fight to make things better. Not just for myself, but for anybody else that I possibly can. And I can at least say that I tried, no matter what. I can always say I tried. Which is something that I know a lot of people in this world can't always say. So, may not be perfect, but occasionally I do have to remind myself of just that right there. I have done some things in my life that the majority of people would not even try. And I'm happy to do so. Should have null here, unless I screw this up. Not perfect, but not bad. Let's see how well that fares for us. Not for sure how well Hitmonkey does against High Evo. I know he's not the direct counter for him, but I'm gonna say I probably got this one won, like just off of time alone. I'll take it. I shall take it. Kind of on an ebb and flow thing tonight. Like I'll win one, lose one, win one, lose one type thing. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if we lose this next one or not. This is a little later in the evening than I like to necessarily do Battlegrounds, because I normally don't get as good of matchups this time in the evening. Took out damn near like my whole top line. Not for sure if that's my first 5 or not, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty close. Haley, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Should probably have re-rolled that one, to be honest with you. I'm doing good, Wolf. Yeah, I've been busy lately, and Friday, March 6th, Kearney, Missouri is getting bad. That sucks. I know a lot of the country's been getting hit bad. As a matter of fact, I've avoided most of it this year, but I'm about to go drive right back into a lot of it. I haven't even jumped into Battlegrounds this season. I'm debating myself if I want to stay in my alliance or not. Are you thinking like you want to take a step back, or are you thinking you want something bigger, or like are you just thinking about taking a step from the game or going solo? What are you thinking, Chapel? I debate stepping away from my alliance every time I plan a war, and then I get done planning war, and I go back to being happy for the most part. And then my guys don't do what I tell them to do, and I have to get annoyed again. But I love them all. They are my people. And I do my best to take care of all of them. Keep them growing. Keep them happy. Keep them getting good rewards. Thank you, Haley. Nah, I can, like, even with the couple times that I've taken a break from this game and came back, like, I instantly go back into running alliances, and most of the time I get, like, half the people or more that I was running the alliance with the last time coming back, just because I do what I can to make sure that I have a good environment for my people, and I always have. I know there's enough toxicity out there, and it gets real easy to end up in one of those alliances where, like, the game becomes not fun real quick. So I ran into an interesting thing the last season, particularly to do with Enchantress here. And it's something I'd never thought of before until this last season. One of the guys in my alliance does not like fighting her whatsoever, and not for the typical reason that most people would think. He's actually a fairly skilled player. He has no problem with most matches. The problem he has with Enchantress is her spells are color-coded for the most part. I mean, yes, there's symbols in them, but it's easier to see the colors than it is the symbols, in all honesty. And he's colorblind. So he can't see the cues that most people use to beat her. And I think that's something that really, like, I know that Kabam has done several things to try and make this game more accessible to people with disabilities and stuff. But I think that's one thing that nobody thought about. I know I hadn't thought about it until he brought it up. But it's always interesting when you see the different challenges that people have to face in life, no matter how it is. You know, it is one of the things I've always tried to keep myself fairly... Yes, I go through a lot of bad times in my life. I have on many occasions. I've also went through some really amazing times. But I also do know that, like, the challenges I face are not necessarily the challenges everybody else does. Yeah, it's kind of like that for me right now. Just tired of trying to manage members, almost just to fall back and just be a member, basically. I've been there. I have been there on multiple occasions where that's what I really honestly considered doing. And I fully understand if that's what you were like. I respect the people that, like, it is a whole nother experience that a lot of people do not understand the depths of, to be an officer or an alliance leader in this game. So no matter if you do it for just a little while, a few years, or, you know, the majority of the game like I have, it's anybody who spends any time and actually is an active officer or leader deserves respect in this game. And I will always feel that way about it. It can be more than a full-time job in itself. So, Wolf, are you thinking about getting a new dog? If so, what kind of dog are you going to get? I would love to get a dog again, and I will probably, when I get back to Washington, which will be a little while, be looking at getting a dog. I'm not particular to breeds, honestly. I will tell you this much. When I get to Iowa, there may be a couple dogs that make an appearance on the channel while I'm there. Because the buddy of mine that I am going to be staying with for the time that I'm there does have 2 pit bulls. He is very partial to breeds. Like, the majority of the time that I've known that man, he has owned pit bulls. But yeah, no, I've owned all kinds of dogs. I've had a pit before. The one that I had for the longest was a Doberman Husky Wolf German Shepherd mix. Most of the dogs I've had are just like me, mutts. Like, they a little bit of everything. Interesting. We are frozen. Give me just a second, guys. Let's see if I can't reset that. Figure out what's going on with that. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, so fun little thing. For some reason, my screen sharing software has completely and totally crashed. So I guess we're going to go ahead and wrap things up for the evening, and I will be looking into that and figuring out what's going on with it. But that being said, let's go ahead and see who is live and see who we can't go over and jump over to support. Is she live? Because if she is, let's go over and... Mama Bear's live. Let's go over to support her real quick. So, yeah, I might get a gray wolf German Shepherd mix if they have a wolf. That's killer. It's awesome. But yeah, so it looks like Mama Bear is live. Let's go over and support her, and I'll figure out what's going on with this stuff, and we'll be back sometime before I leave for Iowa. But again, guys, it's going to be a rough one for the next couple weeks, so I don't know how much we're going to be live, but I will do what I can. But until then, guys, I hope everybody has a great day, a great night, and pulls a God Tier champion soon. And I will see everybody back in the next one. I love you guys. I appreciate all the support, all the help, all the everything. And I'll see you guys back soon. Until then, peace out.